Good morning, good day, good evening. Welcome to H Capture Live. I am your host, Harry Bridge. Here today with a very special guest, a friend of mine, an international reggae artist, Mr. Oliver Groove, Mr. O. What's going on, bro? What's going on
What's
with you?
going on, big man? How you doing, man?
Hanging in there, hanging
Doing
in
good,
there.
doing good.
Long time, long time. You're
Yeah,
looking
man.
good, getting busy. I see
Long
you
time
all over the
coming.
place.
Yeah, we working, Same old.
uh, same old, same old.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about your history as an artist. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people, if they know about you, they know that you do reggae. You're internationally known. I've seen you do everything from the local stuff in Connecticut, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Cali. Where are you at right now? Are you local now? Are you like West Coast?
No, I'm East Coast right now,
Okay,
but
East Coast. East Coast.
I'll probably be going to the West before the year's over.
Whatever years over. Yeah, I
Possibility.
see you always over. I remember the first song I was listening to I liked was Montego Bay. I
Yeah,
downloaded. I got the
you know what?
whole.
That's a lot of people's favorite. I
Yeah,
think
man,
it gives you a
that's a
feeling.
track.
When they go back.
Yeah, it's a track. It's a track.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna get into a couple of questions. The way this show is gonna be broken down is we're gonna be talking a little bit about your history, your art form. We're gonna be asking you a couple questions, and then halfway through, I'm gonna break it up into my other brand, Sports Fans Only. Shout out to Sports Fans Only. So I'm gonna break it up, and then we're gonna be going into a sports segment where we're going to talk about a couple of your favorite sports pertaining to football today and your Giants. Like I said
Let's go
before.
Giants! Let's go
So
Giants!
yeah, Steak Giants. So I can't. I'm a Cowboys fan, so everybody knows that. It is what it is.
Right.
But we'll talk about it
Arch enemies.
today. Yeah. So, first question: how did you get into rapping? For those who don't know.
Well, when I was younger,
Mhm.
me and my cousin and a couple of friends, we always just, always hanging out, doing whatever. And my cousin, his name is Vibes. He had like records he used to spin with this sound called Sonic Wave. So, so he's spinning records. We do parties and whatnot. And I used to carry the crates or whatnot. Back then there was no
Yep.
Yeah, so he just said one day grab the mic and we just started playing around with it. Next thing you know, we started writing, and after that it just became full-fledged passion, to lyrical words and put everything together and make songs. It was just something that came naturally.
So you've been rapping since what age?
Oh my God. Well, I've been making music because I don't really consider it full-fledged rapping because we do reggae.
Yep.
I have a couple would sound like country songs.
Mm-hmm.
Since recently, I've added like a rock song to my, the whole. So it's just making music, but I've been making music since I was like 17 years old, 18 years old.
Okay, so well versed, and a lot of time dedicated to your art. My platform is really set up for artists in general, and just talking about the different industries, how it applies to different places, and the strengths, weaknesses, things that you guys are affected by. And coming from doing reggae for the majority, it's like a whole nother market other than like popular rap or R&B in the States. So that's a pretty cool thing.
Right.
Besides rapping, we're gonna get back to that in a minute. But besides rapping, a lot of people don't know you've done some acting. One of the first times that I remember that you did some acting was on the same set with me. We did some extra work for Righteous Kill. I was starring Al Pacino, Robert De Niro. You got to work with 50 Cent and Jim Jones. So just tell people, that sometimes you have some actors that are starting off, and sometimes it's overwhelming and they don't really understand the concept. But how was your experience with that? Like, how did you get into it?
It was there was like a scouting group that I gave some headshots to or something like that, and they would send me to like different little rehearsals or on the scene straight. I was going to get my what is that? Your ASCAP?
Okay. Yeah.
I was on my way to doing that because that movie there with 50 was one of the first ones that I had, like, I was in there just walking around doing my thing. So, funny story about that 50. I actually, because I had a CD on me that day, I actually gave him a CD. He wasn't really messing with me at all. He wasn't.
But you shot your shot though. You took a chance.
I had to. I was like 5 feet away from him or something. I was like right there, Hey, But everything works out for a reason. So man, that was one of my memories. Though. But they were right there. We were all on set together. It was cool. It was real cool.
Yeah, I remember it was kind of like I remember a surreal feeling when Pacino came on and De Niro came on set, because they didn't call him like what do they say, like De Niro and Pacino. They called him Al and Bob. I think they called him Bob. Right. So that was kind of wild. And then when 50 came on, he was a lot bigger than I thought, like in person. And
he was huge.
Jim Jones was up in the thing doing. You must have heard that song like 1,000 times. Ballin'. It was like 1,000 times, 1,000 takes, but it was definitely a fun experience. I remember looking over. I'd be like, "That's he over there. I see him in the."
It's gotta be like 5 hours worth of.
Man.
We fly high.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah. But besides that, were there any other experiences across the board coming up throughout your career that you remember, certain things that stood out with possible celebrities, people that inspired you? Like, do you remember anything that kind of stood out to you?
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff. Because I went to the Underground Music Awards one time, and I don't know if you know Fred Godson, R.I.P. Fred Godson. He gave me a full interview right out there in front of everybody for my first podcast, and this was before people really even knew what podcast was.
Yeah.
A lot of little spots, like, okay, I was on Yo MTV Raps. If you look back on
that's old school
episode of Yo MTV Raps, with Redman, I was a young kid at the time, but Redman was on, and it was a wild day. Fat Freddy, Ed Lover, Dr. Dre. It was dope. Those type of things kind of fueled more of the passion. Eric Sermon was there one time. We was with him. A lot of little stuff like that. But it was always something, because we live in Connecticut, but Bronx is right there.
New York's right over the bridge.
Manhattan's right there. You're always next to somebody.
That's what a lot of people, they don't really get. If you're an artist that lives in Connecticut, you have accessibility to New York. You also have Mass, and you can get to Rhode Island if you want to, and even PA. Right. We're kind of in a central area where you're not too close to all that stuff, but
Right. Like when my buddy was alive, we French Montana, Fab. We did all those shows. So he used to be, God rest his soul, G-Set. He used to be connected with a lot of people, so we would just do crazy, crazy things. We'd be opening for this one, opening for that one. So
that's what's up.
I'm at my share of,
Yeah, man. I've watched your career over the years, and I always remember when I first saw you start, like when you came out, and I was like, oh, he actually like really does this. And I saw like videos, and I saw the thing on iTunes. I saw the album, and I was like, man, he's really doing his thing. So I was, secretly, I was like, yo, that's my guy, man. That's my guy. Like I know him personally. It was kind of like, it was cool to kind of see another person they're inspiring to do something outside of just working. You kind of grind, you getting your things done. So that's what a lot of people don't really see. They don't see the back end. They only see like the success, But besides that, who is when it gets into like rapping, who is your favorite rapper or reggae artist? And how did they inspire you? Like, who was the rapper? Your favorite
rapper? I would say Nas. Definitely Nas.
Okay.
Nas is like, come on, man. Illmatic,
can't go wrong.
So, a lot of people talk about who is the best, but pound for pound, like lyrically, the dude is no really topping it. The man made a song about a gun and put himself in the position of the gun.
Yep.
Who's ever done that? What I mean? Who's ever, come on. Like,
his mind is always like out of the norm.
He made a song where he spit the song backwards.
Backwards, yep. Crazy.
Going forward, but he's spitting the song backwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Like that takes lyrical skill. I think, you know, that's what the game's kind of missing, you know.
I saw the thing said, go and push the flex, girl, the dog get. They say boom, I saw the thing said, go and push the flex, get where the dog get. Fuck around, what you ballin' for? Fuck around.